Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. For today's video, we are going to give you a tour in Reptilia located in the Westmont Mall in London, Ontario, Canada. And this is the biggest reptile zoo which is indoors, and I'm with Cody.
Yes, Cody. Hello.
He is working here as a zookeeper, so he is giving us a tour inside. Before we are going to give you a tour, please subscribe to our channel if you haven't done it yet. Click like, hit the notification bell for more updates. And don't forget to share it to your friends.
And I'd choose you in 100 lifetimes. I'd choose you in 100 worlds. I'd find you. And I'd say I do for the rest of my life. With all that I have, I do.
So Cody, before we will start our tour, can you please say hi to our subscribers?
Hello, everybody.
Yeah, so let's start here. So how much is the prices?
So our standard admission prices do range a little bit based on age, from children 2 to 6 at $12,
12, yeah.
7 to 12 is $15, 13 to 64 is $20, and then seniors are $17, and toddlers under 2 years old are free to come in. There. And that gets everybody who pays that admission full access to the zoo all day, with access to our hourly public shows that we do every hour on the hour from 11 to 4, as well as 4 public feedings throughout the day for customers and guests to tune in and watch.
Wow, that's nice. So how about if you want to feed the animals? How much is the prices?
So we do have some varying prices based on what types of animals we're feeding, from $10, $15 to $25, depending on what size and species of animals you're going. With the smaller animals, like our bearded dragons, being a $10 feeding purchasable upgrade, and something like, say, our larger boa constrictors being upwards of $25.
So how about if I want to feed a snake? How much it's?
So it will depend on the species as well. So something like our small garter snakes that we have in zoo will be $10. Something larger like, say, a king snake is going to be $15. And then something larger like our carpet pythons or boa constrictors, and even some of our smaller anacondas will be upwards of $25.
Yeah, I see. So we will go inside?
Yeah, we can head right on in.
So it's dark here. Is there a reason why it's dark?
Yeah, so we actually have large LED lights that we turn off when the zoo opens up. That helps highlight how bright and beautiful the enclosures we've set up are, as well as for cameras. It prevents a lot of the glare. Those lights can be very blinding on the outside there, so while people are trying to take pictures or any videos, there'll be a very heavy glare if we were to leave them on. So it adds to the ambiance as well as a functional purpose as well.
Yeah, okay, so here.
Yeah, we're here in front of our green iguana exhibit, where we actually have 3 different color forms of green iguana. We have on the far left here, his name is Mike Wazowski, and he is a true green iguana. We have Aquamarine here, who is a blue-green iguana. She starts off as blue as your pants would be, and as they age, that blue fades into more of this kind of greeny blue coloration. And then we have Topaz sitting up at the top, who is a red-green iguana with that beautiful bright orange red that you can see there. And all 3 of these are naturally occurring color forms that you can find in various parts throughout their native ranges.
What is the name? Iguana?
Yep, these are all green iguanas, but green iguana is a species name, doesn't necessarily mean they're actually green.
So which of this iguana is girl? So
we have 2 females here, Topaz and Aquamarine here, and then Mike there is our big boy. You can see how he has those really chubby jowls and has a much kind of blockier head there.
How you will know if it is a girl or boy?
Females will not have the big cheeks. You can see how he's got those chubby cheeks there, whereas Aquamarine is lacking the chub on there, and his head is a little bit larger and more blocky, whereas they have a much more almost soft appearance to their faces.
So this is male?
Yep, that's our male there.
I see. So it's
wonderful.
Yeah.
So as we come rounding our corner, we come across one of our, I would say, customer favorites, who is Kaiju. And Kaiju is swimming in the corner there. He is a sulfur Asian water monitor which is the second largest lizard on the planet after the Komodo dragons, capable of getting almost 9 feet long and weighing in excess of 100 pounds as an adult. And they're called the water monitor because they will spend upwards of half of their lives in the water. And as you can see here, Kaiju is getting his exercise here. He'll spend upwards, I would say, about of half of his day to 3/4 of his day every day in the water swimming around. Very similar to alligators that way, spending a lot of time in the water.
What is this kind of animal?
He is a sulfur Asian water monitor.
Oh.
So the sulfur is because of that beautiful, almost yellow color that he has there, a very sulfury color, whereas normally it's a much more kind of brown on gray color scheme.
So are they friends with fish?
Yep, so he doesn't really go after these fish because of how large the fish are. In this exhibit, we've got several plecos, a giant gourami, as well as a clown knife fish.
Hello. Oh my gosh, that's so beautiful. Is this male or female?
We're suspecting it's a male. We haven't checked for sure because checking can be a semi-invasive process, and we're not really worried if it is a male or a female.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Where is this? What is in here?
These are our bearded dragons, one of the most popular pet reptiles, but quite a commitment and a fairly well-versed species. These guys are all over the place.
They are vegetarian, huh?
Herbivorous, or omnivorous, my mistake. So they will be eating as adults, about 70% of their diet is consisting of fruits and veggies, and then 30% of their diet is going to consist of bugs. However, when they're babies, it's the opposite, with the majority of their diet being bugs.
So how old is this one?
We're not exactly sure on their age because they are surrenders. About 85% of our animals here at Reptilia are surrenders, rescues, donations, or confiscations. So these three here were all surrenders or donations there. So we don't know the exact age on some of our animals. We have a good guess, but unfortunately some of the owners who surrender these animals, they might not even be their first home. They might be the third or fourth home before we receive them. So we don't always get the exact full life story on these animals. Now, even though they have different color forms, they are all the same species, and in the wild they are a primarily herbivorous species, eating a lot of fruits, veggies, leafy greens, which is what we're going to be giving them today. We've got a couple salads made up here, primarily made of collard greens as well as some red cabbage. We have some apple slices, carrots, honeydew melon, banana, and what else do we have in here? I think that's it. We do a wide variety of foods here, so this is a good salad for them, and they'll get a salad equivalent to this about 3 times a week generally. So what you're going to see is we're going to step into the exhibit. I'm going to set one dish over here near these two, and our guest here is going to be setting one right in front of Aquamarine there on my left, so I'll give you that plate there. We're going to set those in the exhibit, and you're going to see these iguanas go a little bit crazy for food. They are very enthusiastic animals, and normally they're fed around 12 or 1 o'clock. So they're a little overdue. They're getting a little bit hangry on us, but that's okay. That just means they're going to eat with a little more gusto. So I'm going to open this up and we'll get right in there. Hello, ladies. There's one. Hey, what are you doing? You coming out? Here's your bowl.
I will put
Yep,
here.
and you can set that right there.
They look cute.
So we're here at our Anaconda exhibit, and in this exhibit, you'll actually notice we have 2 different types of anacondas. We have the yellow anaconda, who is in frame here. Yellows are a much smaller species, getting an average of anywhere from around 6-7 foot for a small male, upwards of 10-11 feet for a very large female, and weighing about 40 to 60 pounds as adults. Whereas the green anaconda, who we can see in the corner there, is a much heavier species. They're actually the world's heaviest snake and one of the largest, capable of getting over 15 feet long potentially and weighing upwards of 300 to 400 pounds.
Oh my God.
That's actually why you'll see green anacondas almost exclusively in the water in their wild environments generally, is they actually get so heavy that the weight of their own body can actually cause too much pressure against their organs and can shorten their lifespan if they're not spending enough time in the water.
So this is the anacondas that I seen in the movie.
Yes, these are the anacondas that you've seen in the movies.
They are
now,
willing to eat people.
No, they're not. Those movies definitely vilify these animals the same way Jaws vilified sharks. Sharks aren't these vicious predators. Anacondas are not these man-eating animals. They want nothing to do with us, generally speaking. The only time people are ever really bitten by these animals is when people are going out of their way to get in front of one of these snakes.
I think so.
Most snake bites happen because someone is messing with an animal.
They won't hurt people until they hurt them first.
They want nothing to do with us if they have the option.
So, anacondas are poisonous?
No, anacondas are a constrictor. They're actually in the same family as boa constrictors. They are a boid species, so they're going to grab their prey, put upwards of almost 100 pounds of force into squeezing that prey, and they squeeze their prey so tight to kill it, they actually cut off blood flow to the brain, heart, lungs, and other major organs. Suffocation is simply a side effect of their constriction.
I see. Oh my gosh. They are friends also with fish.
No, they don't eat the fish. The fish generally are just there to add some life into the exhibit more than anything else.
But they don't hurt the fish.
No, they don't.
Yo, how about here?
Yes, we do have our American alligators, Chomper and Ducky here.
Yeah.
These guys are a phenomenal species, very, very intelligent animals. Both of our animals are still fairly young, so not quite using their brains completely. Very enthusiastic about their food, but an absolutely incredible species. And you can see all that plating on their back there. Those are actually called osteoderms, coming from two Latin words, osteo for bones and derm for dermis, for skin, which literally translates as they have bones in their skin. So those scales that you see on their back, all of those plates actually have a little piece of bone inside of them. So not only do they have thick scales, but they have that extra layer of protection with that bone.
So how you will feed them?
Yep, so we use a very, very long pair of about 4 to 5 foot long tongs, and we'll stand on the bridge and on land there and feed them while they're in the water with those very long tongs.
Yeah, oh my gosh, I'm scared of this one.
They can be intimidating.
I seen in the movie that they will bite us.
Yes, alligators and crocodiles, even though they are very intelligent, they still have a lot of that, you could say, instinct, that wild kind of prey behavior there, where anything that's in front of them can be fair game for food.
So what are the foods that they will eat?
In the wild, they're primarily eating fish, crayfish, a lot of crustaceans, again, a lot of fish, and small mammals and small reptiles. So rats, they'll go after rabbits. But generally, anything, I would say, a little bit bigger than their head, they try and avoid whenever possible. They don't want to fight for a meal. They want something that they can grab, overpower very easily, and swallow down.
Yeah, so how many times a day you will feed them?
They're fed once a week to once every other week on average, and that is more than enough food to sustain them because they're getting several pounds of food per feeding.
Yeah, I see. So, Cody, I have a question.
Of course.
So, is the ecosystem is self-sustaining?
So we don't actively make self-sustaining ecosystem tanks. Some of the ones that we do use will show up, and eventually wood lice, pill bugs, roly-polies, whatever you might call them, do show up and help break down some of the decaying organic matter. But we're in these enclosures every day, every couple of days to do any maintenance, cleaning up any feces, a water change, cleaning up the filter. The hard part with a lot of zoos and self-sustaining ecosystems means you have to leave it and have it set up for a very long time, let it run without messing with it a lot. And part of zoos procedures generally, especially our zoo, is a biosecurity. So we're in there making sure that nothing is transferring to a different exhibit. We're doing every 6 to 8 months, cleaning out all of the substrate and putting all new stuff in to prevent bacteria buildup. So we don't actively produce self-sustaining ecosystem tanks. It's something we're looking into in the future and maybe seeing if that makes more sense. But at the moment, we don't have actively self-sustaining ecosystems. We still are doing a lot of maintenance in these exhibits every day.
Yeah, that's good.
Wonderful. So we're actually going to head in with Timmy, our African spur-thighed or sulcata tortoise, sulcata for sculpted, and you'll see why with their beautiful front legs. Timmy here, we have nicknamed Tiny Tim because he is on the small end of average for an adult male sulcata tortoise at about 85 pounds. They are capable of getting over 200 pounds. We're going to go in, we're going to give him a leaf of lettuce, we can give him a scratch on the shell as well. He is super, super friendly. Timmy here loves people almost as much as he loves his food. So we'll step right on in with him, and he'll see the green leaf in your hand, and he'll come running, quote unquote, right over to eat right out of your hand there.
Timmy?
Yep, Timmy.
Timmy! Can I sit? Tim, come here.
And this species is actually the third largest species of tortoise in the world. And like I said, capable of getting an almost 4-foot long shell and weighing over 200 pounds as an adult. Timmy here is going to be celebrating his 30th birthday in the next couple of weeks with us here. And he's just on the small end of average, which could be from a variety of reasons, from improper care when he was young, so it stunted his growth, to maybe just having some smaller parents, so he's just not going to be a very large animal. There is a wide variety of factors that can affect his growth as well as his full potential size. And you can see sulcata tortoises and tortoises in general.
You're so cute. Hi.
They're going to do a lot of things slowly, but eating is not one of those things. They are very ravenous feeders and they love their food.
Finish.
Perfect. Yep, and you can just give it a throw because he has a very good sense of smell and a great sense for color. So he's going to turn right around in just a couple of minutes.
I can touch?
Yeah, you can scratch him on the shell. He just gets a little nervous when strangers touch his face and he might pee, so we just don't want that. But he loves a good back scratch. They can feel everything in their shell.
Happy birthday in advance.
Their shell is actually their rib cage sitting on the outside of their body, fused in with their spine there. So he feels everything when we pet his shell. So we are up beside Boots here, and Boots is a reticulated python, which is the longest snake species in the world, capable of getting almost 30 feet long. Boots here is 20 foot and 130 pounds. She is a very large snake, and she's actually going to be due for a meal in the next 2 weeks or so. She's eating an average of about once a month, and she's getting a wide variety of foods, everything from stillborn pigs that are donated to us here at the zoo, to feeder rabbits, small lambs, goats, and pretty much anything else that is whole prey and big enough for her to see as a meal.
This is so big.
Yes, she is a very large.
You know how old is this?
I believe she is about 15 years old, but because she was a surrender to us as well, we didn't have a full life history on her. So we know her approximate age, but unfortunately not an exact age on her.
Gosh, yeah, I'm scared.
So we're out in front of our Nile crocodile exhibit. Our Nile crocodiles, we have Pearl on the right, who is a bull male at about 13.5 feet long, 14 foot long, and 1,500 pounds. And our female Tomby, who's on the left there, her head is tucked in behind his, she is 11 feet long, weighing in at 850 pounds. Pearl is in contention for being the largest crocodile in Canada, with our other 2 locations in Vaughan and Whitby having the other 2 contenders for that title. We're just waiting to hear back on who might weigh the most of the 3. Nile crocodiles have one of the strongest bite forces in the animal kingdom at over 3,000 pounds of pressure per square inch. A phenomenal bite force. You can compare that to a lion's bite force, the king of the jungle, who is an average of 400 to 500 pounds of pressure. So significantly more powerful they are. These are the animals you'll see in the documentaries taking down the wildebeest, the gazelles, and pretty much anything else that gets close enough for them to grab.
They're sleeping?
They are napping right now, yes. They spent the last 2 days in their water, so they're going to spend about a day or 2 on land just resting. Then they're going to go back in the water, spending 2 to 3 more days just hanging out. Not nearly as active animals as you would think. They are fairly lackadaisical. They like to just hang out. But once we get into this exhibit, you can see towards my right there, we have that large bridge, and that is actually where we do the feeding off of. When they hear the doors unlock to get onto that bridge, they are going to jump right into the water, and they'll move fast enough. They can swim to up to 35 kilometers an hour in the water. They'll create a small wake behind them as they swim up to that bridge. So this is the end of the tour there. It leaves us right out at the end of the zoo. Back into the front, you can see the entrance there. It's a giant circle, and it leaves us out into our retail section where we have tons of gift shop accessories, stuffed snakes, and all kinds of stuffed animals, a lot of toys for children, gifts, things like that, as well as a pet shop retail area. So if someone, say, owns a bearded dragon or another reptile themselves, we do carry all of the supplies for those animals as well, if someone needed to set up an exhibit or even just get some food for their own animals.
Anyways, Cody, thanks for your nice tour.
My pleasure. If anybody's interested, we are at 785 Wonderland Rd South here in London, Ontario. We plan on being here for a very, very long time, so we hope to see some other faces. If you guys have stopped by this zoo, or you do plan on stopping by because of this video, definitely let us know when you show up. We would love to know how much outreach we get here.
Yes. That's all for today's video, guys. And if ever you will visit here, you can just look for him if you want a tour.
I practically
It's
live
so
here, so
nice,
definitely let me know.
guys. That's all. See you again in our next video.
Have a great day, everybody.
Bye.